We'll be talking about three things in this video. Number one is going to be angel, a malaika, was seen in the sky of Palestine. And then we'll talk about a new sign emerging in Saudi Arabia. And then the last one will be talking about the Yahudi, yes, the Jew, how Allah Azza wa Jal has sent them a warning sign. We'll talk about these three together in this video. If you are one of those people not subscribed to this channel, you can consider to subscribe. Let's take a look at this video first, and then I will be playing the rest of the other videos. So this is where they actually have seen something in the sky. The object, according to these people, it looks like it's an angel. It's really an angel in Palestine. This was the caption they have used. Let's take a look more. So as you can see, the more you zoom in, you see that object is actually moving. So people are saying it is not a cloud, rather it is an actual being who is moving away and disappearing into the cloud. Now obviously these are not the angel. Allah Azza wa Jalla will not send malaika like in this fashion, and we are not allowed to, or we are actually not capable of seeing angel as long as we are alive. For us ordinary people, there is no way Allah will send an angel in the sky, because otherwise people would not have to read the Quran, understand anything about Islam. They will just believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla by looking at the sky. So that is something very bizarre. People are claiming they have seen something in the sky, and they're claiming that to be an angel. Let's take a look at this article. I found this to be very, very interesting because two things happened in Israel recently in the Western world. Number one, they have seen a pigeon and they have seen a snake. But what was even more interesting is that in 2013, they have seen a boulder falling from the Western world. And a lot of people are interpreting it, especially the Yahudi, saying that this is a sign that the Messiah is about to come. But for the Muslims, for us, we refer it back to the Quran, where Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned clearly, وَقَضَيْنَا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ فِي الْكِتَابِ لَا تُفْسِدُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَّتَيْنِ وَلَا تَعْلُنَّ عُلُوًّا كَبِيرًا. Allah Azza wa Jal warned the children of Israel that they will create fasad on land, and Allah Azza wa Jal has warned that they will become very, very haughty. They will become very, very arrogant. And so when you read this article, you see those things coming true in some way. I'm not saying this is coming true literally, what was mentioned in the Quran, but you see the signs and you can easily relate with the warning in the Quran from Allah Azza wa Jal. So a snake emerges from Western wall cracks, halting prayers. Prayer at the Western wall were unexpectedly interrupted on Wednesday night. Actually, I think it happened a week ago, when a snake slithered out from stones above the woman's prayer section. There was a snake coming from the Western wall, and the reason for that snake to come out was because it saw some eggs from those birds, like the pigeon and maybe other birds. It came out. So the Yahudi, they are saying, look at this snake, look at this the pigeon. In fact, they mention the pigeon in a good light and saying that the pigeon was saved, just like Israel, the Yahudi will be saved. But we see it in a different way. And the way we see it is that this is a warning sign that Allah Azza wa Jal has mentioned and promised in the Quran, that they will create fasad and they will be very, very arrogant at the same time. The snake seemed to be in full pursuit of pigeon or their eggs and was likely trying to fatten up for the winter. There are many reasons why this reptile will come out. And so the sudden appearance of a serpent emerging from Jews' holiest site prompted speculation among internet commentators, some of which drew connections to Adam and Eve and predicted both the coming of the Messiah and bad things for the people of Israel. So again, this is how they're interpreting, some people on the internet, that this is perhaps a good sign, at the same time a bad sign. Now let's take a look at this one. This is happening in Saudi Arabia, and this was the third topic that I want to discuss today. Let's take a look at this.
سجل يا تاريخ
You can clearly
كما
see
ذكرت لكم وادي الرمى سينتهي في أثويرات
في تمام الساعة الخامسة.
this is the land in Saudi Arabia getting totally flooded, and people are taking pictures. They are actually using boats to cross this desert. Yeah, you're hearing it right. this is a desert. They're using boats. They're using sometimes horses to cross the desert. You would never imagine that could happen. But this is what is happening right now as we speak in the land of the prophets. And a lot of people are saying, in fact, even the non-Muslims are saying that this is a sign of the end of time. The coming of the Qiyamah, the coming of the Dajjal, Yajuj and Majuj, and many other alamat that will take place just before the end of time. And you can clearly see this speedboat, and they're trying to just cross the desert. The reason for that is because of too much rainwater, and the land of the Arab is turning greenery, and you see springs of water that I mentioned before. As Rasulullah SAW said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى تود العرب مروجا وانحارا, that the hour will not be established until the land of the Arabs will turn again luscious green, and there will be springs of water. And this is exactly what is happening. SubhanAllah, this is probably the biggest sign in this year 2023. Dear sisters, the main point of reminding with all of this is so that we can prepare for the end of time, be guided, and not be deceived by the greatest deception of human history, which is Ad-Dajjal.
And the Jews are scared to death after this. A snake came wriggling and crawling out of the stones of the great western wall, and a pigeon got scared of it. The pigeon flew away immediately, and this whole incident is not a coincidence. This small event, which took only a few seconds, has a deep meaning, and the Hebrews and Jew rabbis have been talking about this since then. What does this event indicate? Is this bad news or good news? The Christian scholars and the Jew rabbis say that the pigeon is the Israelis. We are truly in the dangerous times that directly precede the Messiah. A Hebrew said, just as the pigeon is safe so long as it seeks shelter among the stones of the Temple Mount, the Jews are protected by the Torah commandments. When the pigeon comes out from the stones, or the Jews move away from the Torah, they are in danger. It comes after several other incidents at the Temple Mount, which have been interpreted as religious signs. 4 months ago, a large piece of stone fell from the western wall, almost crushing a woman who had gone there to pray. One mystic rabbi interpreted it as a sign that the third temple should be built, because the stone fell the morning right after Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av is a fast that Jews observe to commemorate the destruction of the first 2 temples. Shortly afterward, a large cloud of dust came up from inside the temple